I am Noriko Bolford, and this is Uncut News. General Secretary of the PNC, AMNA Ali, has broken the first rule of TAFing. Don't snitch pon your matty dem. This is after she indirectly named party member James Bond as the recipient of the US $1 million in payments for the sale of state lands at Peters Hall. But Ali made the revelation in the shadiest way possible. She said, and I quote, "The PNCR wishes to inform the public that Mr. James Bond is not an executive member of the PNCR. The PNC refers to an article published in the October 27, 2020 edition of the Guyana Times newspapers with the headline PNCR Executive Collects US $1 million for the flip lands at Peters Hall. The PNCR Executive news in the headline is erroneous." Yes, she didn't say it was him, she just said that he is not an executive. Ali said in a written response to the newspaper. Not one report named Bond, in fact. Really. I think we're probably the only ones, just us and some people online, but no official newspaper actually named Bond. In fact, it was actually crooked as ass Nandlal who made the revelation, and even he didn't snitch on Bond. But Ali, in her statement, obviously confirmed that it was him who received the payment. So, I don't know if you're hearing this, Bond, but if I were you, I'd leave the party with rapid speed, because with friends like that, who needs enemies, am I right? Continuing on the topic of thieves in high places, this morning PNC member Carol Joseph, Big Auntie Volder, and Spreadsheet Mingo made another appearance at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The three musketeers were all individually and jointly charged for the big rig of 2020. However, don't hold your breath on them going to jail anytime soon though. The prosecution claimed that they needed more time to rectify certain paperwork issues. The same was true for the court itself, including the issue of attorney Sanjeev Dattadin being one of the prosecutors of the case. Obviously, because, conflict of interest and all, but hey, what do I know? Anyway, they will be back in court December 21st. If you've been stuck in your house all day getting fucked during the pandemic, then I've got some great news for you. Starting Monday, the outer pathway and the parking lot of the Providence National Stadium will be opened every day to the public for recreational and exercising purposes from 5 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. So, get out there, stretch your legs, and get some exercise so you can stay slim and trim like your good old boy Noriko. Best Buy Auto Sales is Guyana's #1 auto dealer. Their prices are competitive, and they sell their vehicles with warranty, so you could have some peace of mind. Visit their showrooms at 171 Peter Rose Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamaha Street, Georgetown, and find out about their special Christmas deals. This morning, police in Region 3 arrested 58 motorcyclists as they attempted to cross the Demerara Harbour Bridge. According to police, they were arrested for breaching the one-way street on the western half of the bridge, while several others were found to be riding without the necessary documentation. Now, if that wasn't vexing enough for them, here is what the officer on the ground told them.
This is what we're going to be doing. We need all the motorcyclists. We're going to be pushing your motorcycle through this whole road and we're going to Lagwan Station. We're going to be examining you for all of your, we're going to check your documents and to see that your motorcycle is roadworthy. Right? Nobody wouldn't be riding, you're going to be pushing your motorcycle to the station.
They all had to push their bodies and the bikes to the Lagrange police station where they were charged and fined $25,000. According to police, they have built several barricades to direct traffic during the morning rush hour period, but the bikers felt they didn't have to wait in line like everyone else, which the police claims confuses the whole process on the regular, which led them to actually do this action. For the second time in 2 weeks, a cow in quarantine caused a cop to crash his car into a concrete culvert. Delon Harvey, a police constable stationed at the Rose Hall Town outpost, was severely injured after he swerved his motor car he was driving to avoid a collision with a herd of cows. The accident occurred on Tuesday at around 9:30 p.m. along the number 60 public road, Quarantine Bevis. The passenger of the vehicle was assisted out of the wreckage by public-spirited citizens, but the cop was pinned in the vehicle. The officer is currently being treated in the New Amsterdam hospital. His condition is listed as serious, while the passenger was treated and sent away. So, please people, be careful on the roads. Animals cause accidents far too commonly here. An autopsy was performed on the body of 85-year-old businesswoman Bibi Ramjeet, and that autopsy has found that she was strangled to death. Ramjeet was on Sunday found dead in her home in Lagrange with her hands and feet tied. Police have since arrested a juvenile in relation to the murder. When Ramjeet was found, her house was reportedly ransacked, which led investigators with the theory that she was killed during a robbery. She reportedly lived alone. An investigation is ongoing. Don't fall for these get-rich-quick schemes, people. There is a legit way you can earn some extra cash to supplement your existing hustle. Sell Top-Up. You could become a Top-Up vendor quick and easy by linking Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Contrary to popular belief, oil will not save us. In fact, a recent study from the Institute for Energy Economics and Financial Analysis says the revenue from the Liza development project will not be enough over the next 5 years for the nation to close budget deficits, support new spending, as well as build a healthy sovereign wealth fund. We just will have to probably pick one or maybe two of the three. The Institute noted that the deal will leave the nation experiencing an annual budgetary shortfall of US $160 million. This is due to the US $20 billion in development costs that the nation will owe Exxon, and it is expected to be paid over the next 5 years. This is also compounded by the fact that the pandemic has made the global petroleum industry extremely unstable, meaning Exxon is getting less money than projected, which means we're getting less, which means we're going to have to drill even more, so drill, baby, drill. It's time for today's Rona Report. Today, the nation recorded 13 new cases. The total number of deaths now stands at 123. There are now 9 persons in the ICU and 762 persons in home isolation. The total number of known cases in the country is now 4,074. So, please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth, and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds, and remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Now, let's take a look at news in the region. In Trinidad, the 2021 national budget was passed in the Senate with 23 votes for, 0 votes against, and 6 abstains. The 19 opposition members in the lower house on Friday abstained from voting, even though Auntie Kamala said they were free to vote yay or nay. In the Senate, the 6 opposition members also abstained from voting. Cuba and Venezuela are working jointly to ensure food security in the face of Trump's blockade against both of them. The agreement between the two nations aims to promote the development of urban agriculture in communes and communities with technical assistance from Cuban specialists. The project will be applied in 24 states of the nation of Venezuela, as well as prioritized cities. Now is a great time to remind you that robbery season is back. If I were you, I would consider getting security for the home or business. Sheriff Security Service is a good choice. I find that they are the most professional with well-trained armed or unarmed guards. Get some security this Christmas, people. And now for our weird news story of the day. This one is about a killer cock. The police chief in the Philippines was killed by a rooster during a raid on an illegal cockfight. The freak accident happened yesterday in northern Samar, where Lieutenant Christian Bullock picked up a fighting cock as he gathered evidence at the illegal event. The rooster actually had a blade attached to his foot, which apparently sliced a major artery in his leg, causing him to bleed out. 3 people were arrested, and 2 fighting cocks were seized along with 2 sets of spurs in the raid in San Jose town, where Lieutenant Bullock was the police chief. Oddly enough, before the health crisis, the blood sport was actually allowed in the nation, but only in licensed cockpits during Sunday and legal holidays and during local fiestas, but for not more than 3 days. Because 4 days of cockfighting is just obscene, am I right? Use Freeze-Tone coolant. Freeze-Tone products offer the best protection against oxidation, corrosion, and electrolysis for all types of passenger cars, trucks, commercial vehicles, and marine applications in the market today, while at the same time being a non-toxic, environmentally friendly product. Freeze-Tone is available nationwide and is imported and distributed by Caribbean Motor Spares. Call them on telephone number 609-7621. Use the best and leave the rest. Moving on to our Uncut News viewers poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, Should it be illegal to not render assistance to a severely injured person? Osiris said, though it is necessary for someone to help out, those in need, the core of the problem is not addressed. We need to get rid of the person that causes these, such as thieves, etc. I got robbed last year and got my hand slashed, and people were kind enough to help, but no one would do something that would put theirself at risk though. Okay. DJC1 Gaming said, yeah, I think it should be law. People tend to take advantage for these things. I mean, why not help them out? They could be dying and all. People, we need to look out for one another. And finally, Samuel Ramsey said, too many times the police are ignorant of the face that the first responders usually be the suspect. That's why we are having so much hit and runs. And sometimes, as a good Samaritan, we end up locked up and sleeping in the lockups. Nevertheless, the government should put an incentive system in place for the civilian to render assistance after an accident and more lives will be saved. Now, before we go to tonight's question, Ravenas on Water Street and Anons on Regent Street just received a new shipment of leatherette in over 16 colors. Leatherette can be used in a wide variety of applications, including covering speedboat seats, cargo, and keeping commuters dry. Ideal for minibus and car seats. Leatherette can be custom-made to your seating requirements. Leatherette is easy to clean and sanitize, and a better choice during the COVID pandemic. For fast and comfortable shopping, visit us to get the best prices in town. Ravenas on Water Street and Anand on Regent Street. So, good answers, people. Now time for tonight's question. Cuba and Venezuela are working to develop community food gardens and other forms of urban agriculture. Do you think we should start doing the same thing here? If so, would you help lead such an effort in your community? Yeah, see, I'm not talking about the government, I'm asking you directly. So, think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in Thursday's episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Noriko Bullford saying good night, folks. Hey Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.